Namaste, Jai Bharat. The Bangladesh Prime Minister thinks that Bharat is continuously trying to topple his government. He must be having his own reasons from his side, not very objective, but in a very subjective kind of reason he must be having. Because Bharat had, or has rather, reasonably good relations with Sheikh Hasina, who is still in Bharat. We have given her asylum, otherwise she could have been killed then. Now, of course, a section of Bangladeshi youth wants her back. That is besides the point, not really besides the point, that's a different story. And her party had good relations with Bharat. Top of that, her party, Awami League, was not allowed to take part in the elections. So their elections, which happened recently, where the President Tariq Rahman becomes the Prime Minister, is partially farce. You can't call it as a very genuine or transparent elections. It's not really like the Pakistani kind of elections, but nonetheless, Awami League was disallowed. Jamaat-e-Islami was permitted and all those things. And Jamaat-e-Islami was permitted. When Jamaat-e-Islami is permitted to participate in elections, that one should understand that many of the Jamaat-e-Islami so-called leaders were already in jail, which Muhammad Yunus let them out. So that's how they become popular. And they tried to influence the people of Bangladesh. They got some seats, not like what they expected. They thought they will become majority, etc., which did not take place. Bangladeshis, there are some elements of Bengaliness in them. So he is afraid of that. So he is skeptical about all the activities which Bharat takes, all the steps that Bharat takes. The recent problem is that Bharat has been fencing our borders. Now, this is a very funny kind of a situation. There is an international border which is open, and the Bangladeshis, the problem with these Islamic states in general is that very highly indisciplined. Generally, they are not very disciplined. Their only loyalty goes to the kind of religion in which they believe in. It's not a uniform Islam. It's a kind of version of Islam which is available to them. Maybe Islam per se has nothing much to do with this, but the people who present themselves as autochthones of Islam manipulates the society. Their kind of faith is blind, very emotional and irrational. Any faith is supposed to be rational, but this is much more than what is a normal kind of faith. It's blind, very blind. At least when you talk about Hindus, we at least have a school of the Mimamsas who are critically criticizing things which are told to them. No, that's besides the point. So this Tariq Rahman, the Prime Minister, is very skeptical about Bharat. We were fencing, he also should know, but then that he doesn't take very serious. He tries to foresee some other agenda behind it, which is normal crooked manner of thinking. Our borders, when it was opened, in a very funny way, just look at the international border. The people, I told you, they're indisciplined. They walk in and do whatever they feel like, and generally we had been keeping quiet. They come here, earn a living and go back and sometimes stay here. Yet some places which I know directly had housemaids mostly coming from Bangladesh, Muslims. They just travel, cross the border, just get into a bus and travel. This kind of things, it's not that we don't know, but we had been very liberal with these people in the past. I'm talking about some 10-20 years before my personal experience. Now, he is looking for alternates. This Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Tariq Rahman, had gone to China recently. His idea or intention was to get a word of assurance from China on their part against Bharat. He, when the discussion started, right in the beginning, he started complaining about Bharat. Now, don't ask me whether I was present in the room or not. I was not, but this is my conjectures and inferences, logical inferences from many things which comes out, and I'm not the only one saying this. Many people have said it in the media. So he was trying to get China on their part against Bharat, and China can't just do it now because China is into bigger games. Bangladesh is a very small fry for China, and once something larger is in front, this something smaller is obviously neglected. China is one state at present which can't be trusted because maybe a shade better than America, but then you just can't trust. They would keep changing for their own interest, their own national interest. Let's presume their own their national interest. You just can't blame them for that. But then it becomes problem for neighbors, whatever. And China did not respond favorably. Because they have greater plans with Bharat. The India, that's Bharat, Russia, China. Russia, India, China, that RIC, what they say, has to take shape, has to be formidable, because that's the only way that Asia can resist the, in capital letters, European hegemony. European hegemony is a reality. European hegemony is there in every aspect of geopolitics and existence. So if you want to do something against this, against their authority in the sense of the money, against their power in terms of trade, business, money power, military, weaponry, and all those things, until these three nations stand together, keeping their differences aside, so-called differences aside, you just can't dream of a situation where their kind of nomination and influence can be sidelined. So I don't think China would jump into the request or suggestions of Bangladesh. So ultimately Tariq Rahman had to return to Bangladesh, most likely disappointed. He also tried another game. He offered China that we will buy their fighter aircraft. Now he thought that a business deal is put in front, and then China would, at least taking that, seeing the situation, would agree to them. But that China has kept clearly aside. That also could not influence them. So Tariq Rahman has become disappointed, and he comes back to Bangladesh, and he would still search for opportunities, and it doesn't mean that China is supporting Bharat blindly. They are looking after their own interests, and given a chance, Tariq Rahman will do anything to go against Bharat, in spite of the fact that he is utterly helpless. He is surrounded by Bharat, and for each and everything he has to depend. They keep depending, and we keep supporting them for their dependence. Nonetheless, they cannot be transparent with a lot of skepticisms in their mind. We don't have such things. If it is whosoever is ruling Bangladesh, however they do elections, are completely an internal matter of Bangladesh, in which we are not that interested. We are interested already, but we are not that interested, and we don't have the habit of American deep state to go on intervening with everybody's internal affairs to get things in their own way. So his effort did not bring any fruits. We shall wait. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.